The conflict between Israel and Iran in 2025 is the culmination of decades-long animosity rooted in ideological, strategic, and security concerns that have escalated into open warfare. At its core, the rivalry is driven by Israel's determination to prevent Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons, which Israel perceives as an existential threat, and Iran's desire to assert itself as a regional power and challenge Israeli and Western influence in the Middle East. The most recent escalation began when Israel launched a series of large-scale strikes targeting Iran's nuclear facilities and military leadership, aiming to cripple Tehran's nuclear program and diminish its military capabilities. These strikes were justified by Israeli officials as necessary to halt what they described as Iran's rapidly advancing uranium enrichment and renewed efforts toward weaponization, with intelligence suggesting Iran was close to a nuclear breakthrough. Iran, in response, has retaliated with waves of missile and drone attacks against Israeli cities, resulting in significant civilian casualties on both sides and raising fears of a broader regional war. The current phase of conflict marks a dramatic shift from years of shadow warfare characterized by covert operations, cyber attacks, and proxy battles involving Hezbollah, Hamas, and other Iranian-backed groups to direct and overt military confrontation. Several factors converged to create this volatile moment: Israel's recent operational successes against Iranian proxies in Lebanon, Gaza, and Syria, the weakening of Iran's axis of resistance after key leaders were targeted, and the perceived closing window for diplomatic solutions to Iran's nuclear ambitions. Internationally, the war has drawn in major powers, with the United States reinforcing its military presence in the region and world leaders at the G7 summit calling for de-escalation, while also emphasizing that Iran must never obtain nuclear weapons and affirming Israel's right to self-defense. The conflict has also exposed the fragility of global non-proliferation norms, as Israel's preemptive strikes on nuclear facilities risk normalizing such actions and potentially encouraging similar moves by other states facing emerging nuclear threats. Iran's sense of vulnerability, especially after losing much of its proxy deterrent capability, has only strengthened its resolve to pursue nuclear arms as the ultimate safeguard against regime change and foreign intervention. The war has had severe humanitarian consequences, with hundreds killed in Iran, dozens in Israel, and widespread fear among civilians forced to evacuate major cities like Tehran and Tel Aviv. Both governments have used the conflict to rally domestic support, but the risk of uncontrollable escalation remains high, especially as neither side appears willing or able to back down without significant concessions. The involvement of regional actors, such as the Houthis in Yemen launching missiles at Israel, and the strategic calculations of Gulf states and China, further complicate the situation and threaten to expand the conflict beyond its current borders. Ultimately, the Israel-Iran conflict in 2025 is a stark illustration of how long-standing rivalries, nuclear ambitions, proxy warfare, and shifting regional alliances can rapidly spiral into open war, with consequences that extend far beyond the immediate combatants.